gentlemen. Oh, good morning, actually, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a little under the weather. No, I don't have the 19. Hope not. I doubt it. But nowadays, everybody asks that. Oh, do you have CV19? Because you have a sore throat or sniffle a little bit. You know, like that's nobody has the flu anymore. Nobody has other conditions anymore. It's either that. Talent. Like with everything, have you realized we have no choices? Our choices have been limited. Talent wise, I remember the 80s, 90s, well, 90s, the 80s, I was just 5 years old. But the 90s was full of options. Like in the NBA, they had a good morning, Paolo Hernandez. Paolo Hernandez, I hope I said it right. In the 90s, we had options. Like the NBA, for example, right? You had a lot of basketball teams to choose from. I apologize if my words are, I have a stuffy nose. So it's kind of hard talking, but I'm gonna try because if something happens, at least you hear my last videos. But anyways, so in the '90s we had options, music. We have this different genres, right? Rap, country, pop. Pop was big in the '90s. You know, the Spice Girls or Jennifer Lopez. Like you had different music. Like you had like, oh, this artist is better. Britney is better than Christina Aguilera. Oh, competition. Oh, the Backstreet Boys are better than NSYNC. The Spice Girls are better than I don't know what other girl group. But in TV, there was a lot of TV shows. Competition there was, but it was something huge, like 20 million, I think. Back then, ratings were like 20 million. The Super Bowl was like 60. I don't know. Correct me. But it was huge numbers. Now, like if you get 5 million, wow, that's great ratings. I'm like, it is. 5 million is great ratings now. The number one show gets like a 7 or 8, I think. And I'm like, that's ratings? I remember Seinfeld used to do like 19, I think, when it was like number, I think it was 19. It was a high number like that. You had movies options. Nowadays, what are our options, folks? Netflix? There's no blockbuster to walk over and buy a movie. Unless you want to pay an amount to rent a movie or buy it off YouTube or, I missed going to Blockbuster not knowing what I wanted and just browsing and like, oh, look, this movie's available. Let's just take it. On Netflix, you have all these choices, but you can't make up a decision. You just browse. Spend like an I. This is me. I spend more time going through Netflix and falling asleep than actually watching something. It's. I don't. I see the movies. They don't call my attention. There's a lot of garbage there. I like the old stuff they started putting. Like the old. They started watching the old stuff. Like I've never seen Back to the Future until now. I'm halfway through two. I gotta finish watching it in three. But those movies like had imagination, had creativity. You imagine yourself in the '80s when that movie came out. '85. I think it came out when I was born in '85. You thinking, wow, 2020 surfboards, skateboards, cars, and I'm 35 now. We're still the same. Nothing has really changed. What little drones, cell phones, 5G, high speed internet. What else has changed technologically? I think the cars back then were better than the ones now. The cars back then were simple. All you needed was gas, change the oil, change the brakes. There you go. Now you got a sensor for this, sensor for that. One sensor breaks, the other one breaks. You have all these sensors broken now. Back then, if something was complicated, you had a choice. You had a choice between a nice steel car that if one of those compact new cars hit it, nothing will happen to your steel car, but the compact will. You had that option. Safety. Now it's because of the gas and this and that. Okay, I understand. I was watching a video, a 1954 concept This was in 1954. They were designing futuristic cars. Back then, I would have looked at it. Now they look funny because they're outdated. But back then, I would say, wow, they're actually trying. There's hope. When the iPod came out, the iPhone came out. I only watch movie shows from the 70s and 80s. Same with music. Oh, I just discovered Tony Orlando and Dawn. I listen to Cousin Brucey on Saturdays and then Tony Orlando right after. Check them out on WABC 770. Say it on your Alexa clock. 6 o'clock to 10 the Saturday night rock party. Pretty awesome. I kind of makes me wish I was born in that era. Like, as much as I made fun of boomers, man, you guys had it great, the boomers. Trust the plan. You know what? I'd rather be a boomer trusting the plan because I had a good life. I got to see Tony Orlando, listen to Cousin Brucey. They have variety shows. I didn't even know about this stuff. Variety shows like TV had great shows. Now what do we watch? Just reruns. I only watch wrestling on TV. I think I give these people what, like 10 hours of TV television. 3 Monday night, two on Wednesday, two on Friday. Was that nine? No, 7 hours a week I give to wrestling because there's nothing else to watch. My favorite shows were 24, The Shield, Prison Break, The Sopranos. Sunday nights were amazing with The Sopranos. I used to wait out a year for those seasons. Now, the only show that I could tell you that I will watch live is Superstore on NBC. That's the only show that I could watch live because it's funny. It's a really funny show. Other than that, I never got into the whole Big Bang Theory. That was corny. I never really understood the jokes. Maybe because I was dumb. I don't know. But it wasn't funny. Even that skinny guy, Sheldon Benjamin, or Sheldon, like he, I don't know. He was just. I always found the little Jewish guy funnier than all, and the Indian guy. The Jew and the Indian were the two funniest characters in that show. That I remember. It would have been easier to get an apartment at a 20-something-year-old single guy in the 80s and 90s. I'm jealous of that. Thank you. So right now, I've traveled to different states. I noticed in red states it's easier to get an apartment, get a job, get a house. In red states, get a car. So, but if you go to a blue state, geez, good luck getting a license. Good luck getting insurance for a car. Good luck getting a loan for a car. You could get it, but you have to pay for it. Good luck parking your car outside without anything happening to it. Good luck. But if you live in a red state, it's beautiful. You could protect your home, protect your car, protect your family. You have that liberty. But if you live in a blue state, you got the crime, no liberty, no protection. All you have is lawyers, insurance to pay, because now you got to pay insurance for apartment. You got to pay insurance for your scooter. You got to pay insurance for everything. The TV that you own flooding now. You got to pay insurance for everything if you're in a blue city because they make that problem so you can pay for it. So they want to defund the police so if crime goes up. Oh, now we need more money for this, more. What? So why create the problem in the first place? There's no talent. Now everything is. We're being pushed into a corner with no choices. No talent. Look at the music now. Rap. La, 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 la. There's no talent. I don't hear country music. I hear a lot of radio stations playing old songs from the 90s now, the 2000s. Everything start with comedy. There's no comedy now. I enjoy watching Revenge of the Sith because I find that as comedy. Everything else on YouTube is either sad or I watch what's his name, Ryan Dawson, because that's the only guy left right now. No more. They took out No More News, the Red Elephants. Like I'm not getting the same information I was getting before. So I slowly started drifting away back into sports, back into like movies and video games, and it's worked. I lived the plan. Somebody in OJ's White Bronco said, "Trust the plan." So I lived the plan. But I want to say this, ladies and gentlemen, before I forget. In the past 4 years with Trump as president, I have made strides. I have made accomplishments. because I said under the Trump presidency, I'm gonna do better things. I'm gonna make yourself great again. My God, I was saying that for like 3, 4 years, but you say it and you actually do it. But now, even whoever comes as president next, worry about yourself. You can only control yourself. You can only control your talents. Now you gotta control yourself in entertainment. As you can see, YouTube is more entertaining than television. That's when they started shutting us down, putting commercials. There's probably like two advertisements already on my video. I didn't put them there. YouTube just puts them there for the 100 views that I get. And shout out to the 4 people right now because it is what it is. But at least I have 4 more viewers than PBS right now, because nobody's watching PBS or watching what's another channel. I have 4 more viewers than them because nobody's watching television anymore. People are watching YouTube. I saw them attacking D Live, saying, "Oh, Nick Fuentes makes $65." Why are you hating? Why are you pocket watching? You kicked him out of YouTube. He goes on and becomes successful on D Live. Same thing, Red Elephants and these other guys that got kicked out of YouTube on D Live. Now they're going after them. You killing talent. So the talent that is available, like me, I see. I don't make videos showing my face or showing videos. I'm scared of copyrights. I'm honestly scared. Like these videos that I've been making is like me having a mask over my face. I'm muzzled because we walk around with a mask on our face, like the dogs when they put those things so they don't bark, the muzzles so they don't bark. That's what they have done to us to silence us. I think the whole virus is making the second wave right now is to keep us locked in because the election results might come out soon. Everything is like it's set up in a certain way. They you know, like I lost my grandma this year. Like she's the reason I'm legal Latino. She's the reason I became a U.S. citizen, and I couldn't get to see her because of this whole pandemic stuff. We couldn't travel. One last time, and it's good to be close with family because you never know what's gonna happen next now with this whole pandemic stuff. And then you start thinking like, wow, the last Christmas I spent with her was like 3 years ago, 2017, and it's like wow, like you don't know when is the last time that you might spend with somebody. So spend Thanksgiving with them this year. The hell with it. I'm sick right now, honestly. Like I'm sick, but I'm taking vitamin C and other stuff, and it is what it is. I'm not gonna go take a vaccine. you know, I eat some fruits, some vitamins, fruits, vitamin C, fiber, clean myself out. The natural way. Take some shotgun mushrooms. Take some, get your immune system up, and take it from there. Like that's why God created us the way to like. I cut my finger and I put cayenne pepper on it, and with your body, it heals up by itself. I don't need to put like chemicals on it. You know, I, I have a stuffy nose, but when I lay down, I put hydrogen peroxide in my ear, and you hear like the little sparkles, that unclogs your nose. Try it out. It might not sting, but it might be because it's cold. But try it out if you have a stuffy nose like me. Lay down on your side and put that bad boy hydrogen peroxide. Here it's gonna sound like a soda being poured from a McDonald's. Damn, McDonald's has the best Coca Cola. Some of that cold ice and a Coca Cola. That sounds good right about now. Let me drink some water. But that Coca Cola from McDonald's. Speak about talent. Speak about talent. I remember McDonald's being the best food in the world when I was 5, 6 years old. The Happy Meals were like the best from McDonald's. You get an actual toy. I remember McDonald's having the Power Ranger toys. You get a little Power Ranger figure and the Megazord with a $2 Happy Meal back in '96. '96 was like one of my favorite years. Yankees won the World Series. The Chicago Bulls won the championship. All the Olympics were that year. I traveled to Ecuador, the blizzard of '96 in New York. I remember the snow being like up to my neck. So I remember '96. '96 was crazy. '96 was like I remember that year, like '96. I went to PS '96 and '96. I remember that. See, I remember Miss Pollock was my teacher. I don't forget that. Was it 90? No, 93 Miss Pollock. In '96. I remember PS '96, and then I went up to private school after that. But I remember that. Like I had the pledge, the song of the school. We used to do the Pledge of Allegiance in a school song. So that's why I grew up with this admiration, this love for this country, because we did the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to this flag. I honestly haven't done this like in years. So I just say it at the top of my head because when I was in PS '96 and 1996, we used to say the Pledge of Allegiance all the time. The assemblies, I remember that stuff. You know, I used to remember these fallout shelters. We used to be in the cafeterias. The milk was good. Then we got chocolate milk. Think about it. The schools, the lunch schools were awesome. You got beef patties. You got pizza. You get hot dogs. Man, those were great lunches, man. Oof, those pizzas. It was Elio's pizzas. That same frozen food you get now. The Jamaican beef patties from those Jamaican beef patties you buy for $1 at the dollar stores, the ones you used to get in school for free. And to think, right, the lunches that you get in school now is garbage compared to back then. You get chicken nuggets, the same chicken nuggets you get in your banquet frozen meals is the same food you get used to get in school for free, which was pretty amazing, right? Come to think of it, and you get chocolate milk. You know how expensive chocolate milk is? It costs more than regular milk. It's ridiculous. But yet, back then you had options, you had choices. Have you seen the food lines, ladies and gentlemen? That's another thing. I think that's the name of the title of this video: talentless and food lines. Unless I changed it, I don't know. I try to upload videos, it doesn't go through, and I have to change the titles and stuff. So, but the food lines, right? Even to go to Costco, BJ's, a supermarket, there's a food line if you want to pay for it. Sorry, I have a stuffy nose. I have to take deep breaths because I have a stuffy nose, and I might sound a little different. I might sound like the Hollywood type right now, like like I might be a Hollywood producer. But it's me, legal Latino. I'm not a Hollywood producer, folks. I'll give you a thumbs up if you're in the chat. You know, show some support. Just hook me up with a little thumbs up right there. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, talent, like the food, you see a lot of restaurants, like small business. What are our options? McDonald's, right? Like now we're scared of the pandemic. I don't want to get out of my car. I've been eating a lot of fast food this past year. No gym, a lot of fast food. Like they're guiding us. I gotta go to Walmart to get my food because it's the only place I can get something, and they also buy food. So you know, you get canned food, processed food. Oh, we gotta hunker down, so we buy cans of processed food. We're losing our options. Besides there being no talent on TV, no talent in music, we're losing our choices, our talent. Kids didn't have a prom, I was in back in June, right? I was like, I went to two proms because back to back actually. I went to two proms back to back. My prom, and then I went the next year with a different. Yeah, that was crazy. But see, I got to do that. And then the following prom, I got to go in my own car. I didn't have to go in a limo. So that was pretty cool. You know, and I was older, so no, I was back to back. So, I got to do that, but that kid, that 18-year-old kid that said, I'm gonna take my girlfriend to a prom, I'm gonna do, because at the time we had American Pie. See, at the time we had movies like that were about sex, and they were actually funny. That's what I grew up with, American Pie. And I was, yeah, prom night. I gotta get laid. I gotta sleep with the one, lose my virginity. No, even though I lost it 4 years before that, but that was as a kid, prom night, right? The dance, You get drunk, right? That's the first time you get to do that stuff. Be in a limo, be with your girlfriend, or ask that girl out that you always wanted to ask out to the prom, and then you get lucky that night because that's before you go to college. But that was the goal. You finish passing your test, your exam, you finish cheating off your friends. You finish. No, yeah, I was in public school, so yeah, the regents and all that. You help yourselves out with your buddies. You got to become creative. But you passed, and now comes prom, the last dance before you go to college, before that summer. Those were great times. Summer youth program working to get that car. That was being young. But this year, those kids didn't have that. They didn't get to experience what I experienced. I feel bad for those kids. I feel bad for the kids that don't have Saturday morning cartoons. When did that die out? Saturday morning cartoons. Right now, we should be watching cartoons, eating cereal. Those were Saturday mornings in the 90s. From like 6 a.m., they play those innocent cartoons. Then it's Power Rangers at 8:30, the rerun, the best episode of the week, because they used to give it at 2:30, then bumped it up to 3, then 3:30, then 4 o'clock prime time. It used to be Power Rangers VR Troopers. Oh, Superhuman Samurai Squad. Oh, Beetleborgs at 3:30. Oh. So you had that block. The options were amazing, folks. Oh my gosh. Damn, I can't watch this stuff now because it's kind of corny. But back then, that was the most amazing television for me. Beetleborgs, Power Rangers, Superhuman Samurai Squad, the guy going into the stupid computer, fighting in the grid, as cheesy from a basement, from the 70s show's basement. As tacky and corny as that sounds, we had options. Even PBS had awesome shows here. As corny as Barney may be, but Barney was awesome. Barney, Reading Rainbow, Little Lamb Chops, sing along, play along. Lamb Chops play along, the song that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing and then I know what it was. This is a song that never ends. So I remember that because you just sit there and just consume it and eat it up with your cereal. So that was entertainment. Like, all right, at 6 o'clock we switching. I remember telling my parents at 5 o'clock, oh, Ghost Rider was it Ghost Rider or Carmen San Diego came on, and I used to tell my parents that's educational. I need to watch it. So I used to like lie to watch PBS at 5 so I could watch Ghost Rider and Reading Rainbow. No, Reading Rainbow was in the morning. So I could keep watching TV because it was great television. Gargoyles, Spider Man, X Men, the animated series, all that stuff. Like that was that was Fox 5. That was Fox Kids. Look at that, Fox Kids. They used to encourage us to like mail stuff in to get rewards. I remember sending in postcards with your name and address and an envelope and get a postage stamp so they could send you a dragon dagger. And I waited every day for that damn dragon dagger. I'm like, where's the mail? There's something come in with my name with my postmarked stamp. Now we don't get that stuff anymore. There is none of that anymore. These kids don't grow up with the Toys R Us catalog where you go through and check all the toys that you want. Now there's like back then you had different toy brands, Jenner, Bandai, Playmates. You had different brands, competition. Same thing with wrestling. There was a lot of competition. That's why I'm glad that AEW is doing good because I want them to give the WWE competition. Same thing with the Mets. I'm glad the New York Mets got bought out by Steve Cohen. And hopefully makes the Mets better because the Mets being better will make the Yankees even better. It will give the Yankees competition. It'll get them off their asses and actually play better and win championships. Because the Yankees win championships when the Mets are doing good. That's when the Yankees they don't want the Mets doing better in New York. So that's competition. But we're losing all that competition. What food options do we have? Like I was watching earlier today, Boston Market, the decline of Boston Market. I was like, damn, I remember Boston Market. That's some good food. Like I want to eat out, but I want to eat something healthy. I don't want to spend a lot of money, but I want to eat healthy. Some rotisserie chicken. So I will go to Boston Market. It's healthy, but good luck finding one now. Let me go to McDonald's. It's cheaper, it's easier. I get $1 Coke, like I mentioned earlier. Large Coke for $1. 2 for 3. Look at that, $4. I have myself a good meal from McDonald's. Well, not good, but it's gonna give me a heart attack. But for my pocket is good. For my stomach is, well, not for my arteries or the way I'm gonna be looked. But it tastes good. McDonald's tastes good. I'm not gonna lie, right? As fake as that food might be, it tastes good. But imagine, or actually, is becoming reality. The only place we can shop is Walmart. The only place we can eat is at McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell or maybe White Castle, hopefully. But imagine those are our options. It's becoming that way, no? It's seemingly becoming this way. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. You know, like boomers, you guys grew up with a lot of stuff and are experiencing the technology of now. Like, I wish I was maybe 50-50 because I would have a phone right now. I would experience the same thing everybody else is experiencing now. I could be a boomer with a TikTok if I wanted. The 80s, especially the 80s and the 70s. Because I don't know if I could live in a time without air conditioning. I don't know about all that. Imagine living back there without. People lived without air conditioning a few years ago. The only place you got air conditioning was at a department store. So people would go shopping a lot because the places had air conditioning. See how incite like I remember going to stores, but it was exciting going to a store. Like, oh my god, we're going shopping. Yes, yes, yes. It was exciting. Christmas was exciting. Remember Christmas? Oh my god, what am I gonna get? Because you had options. Now what the hell do we have? PlayStation 5 and Xbox. I'm not as cheap. I'm not gonna fall for that. I'll get it later on when it's actually worth it. No, no, I'm happy with my PS4, where I can play a whole lot of games that I actually like. Well, I don't care about 4K graphics because I don't got a 4K TV. I don't care about waiting online or fighting people over a PlayStation 5. I don't care about that right now. I don't need that. I don't need that worry. I got important things to worry about right now. I'll get that later on when it's convenient, when I can actually go to a store or order it and get it for a low price in a bundle, which will happen within a year. You'll get a lot of them with like 3 free games and a free controller. I'm gonna wait for that. Oh, sorry. Whew, can't say that word. I'm gonna wait for that effing sale. Right next Black Friday next year. I could wait a year. I got other plans in mind right now, bigger plans. When the time is right, next year you get the PlayStation 5 with a free controller, 3 games, and a gift card. Cause that's what they do. That's what they're gonna do next year. Relax. Maybe I pick up another PS4 this Black Friday. It was like $100 probably. As a matter of fact, I gotta check that out because I think my PS4 is gonna give out. So. But you see, folks, like patience, patience, because we've already got options. Actually, I don't know about the patience though, actually. But I mean, do something to elevate yourself, make yourself great, which hopefully you did in the past 3, 4 years. Now you got to take yourself to the next level. Own property, own your own home, protect yourself, create your own area where you can control. You can't control yourself in an apartment. You're a sitting duck in an apartment. People that live in apartments like living in a prison. You're basically paying for a prison cell. You're paying $1,600 to live in a 650 square feet studio in New York in a bad neighborhood. Now you want to live in a good neighborhood. It's gonna run you about 2,500 for a 550 square foot semi studio in New York, where the bathroom is right next to the kitchen. Can you imagine taking a number two Thanksgiving? Oh my gosh! Imagine having people over for Thanksgiving in your studio, and the bathroom is right next to the kitchen. Like you open the door, and the stove is right. I see. I kid you not. There's apartments like that where the stove is right next to the bathroom. How disgusting is that, folks? What is it like? It's like the apartment in the honeymooners, right? Remember those apartments in the honeymooners? Boom, bang, zoom in the kisser. See, I used to watch honeymooners in New Year's because I used to stay up at night, and then I'm like, oh, let me watch some TV. That's when I was a kid, younger. Honeymooners. They used to give that for like 24 hours. You turn on channel 11. Oh look, they're still giving the honeymooners. Oh, that's cool. Let me watch a couple of episodes. It's kind of funny. But I bet you people used to get excited to watch the honeymooners on the television or gather around the television to watch the honeymooners. I bet you that was like one of the greatest shows in its time. And I Love Lucy. I gave that show. It's funny. I Love Lucy. I'm not gonna sit there and watch all of them, but I'm like, wow, this is. Back then, I'm pretty sure people used to talk about the I Love Lucy episode onto the next episode. And the same thing with the honeymooners. Your average Joe, Ralph Kramer, what's his name? Ralph Cramden. Oh, I like OG Xbox. Kids don't like toys anymore either. Yeah, electronics and apps. Man, I love toys, man. I prefer looking at a figure like, wow, this is. It's like the animation comes to life. Kids these days only use tablets and watch nonstop videos. Sesame Street was awesome in the 70s and the 80s. Oh yeah, Sesame Street. I learned English through Sesame Street and Barney and channel PBS 13. When they started censoring Looney Tunes, I knew that was what censoring Looney Tunes. I don't. Got a lot of food last week. The day before my state issue another lockdown will be good for like a month. Good. I lost so much money under a lockdown. Montreal is full of communism. I'm sorry, D Gulag. I've actually made a lot of money. Um, it would have been easier to get an apartment as a 20. Yo, so there you go, Paula. I appreciate the chats, ladies and gentlemen. It helps me out with the conversation, but I just went on a tangent and I didn't read the comments. Women were funny back. Everything was funny back then. You could play with women back then. You could push them around. Hold on, folks. Let me mute it for a second. I'm gonna blow my nose. Give me 1 second, folks. Let me not be rude. Excuse me. Hey, how's it going, T Moose? Sorry, guys. I had to blow my nose. I was starting to sound like a banker type. But yeah, my nose is congested. So back then we had options. Now we don't. There's no Saturday morning cartoons. There's only Saturday morning legal heat over here. That's all we have. I might start doing my shows Saturday mornings, I think. I don't know. I'm going to have a studio soon, folks. So I'll be making videos again. 2021, I'm going to start making videos again. You're going to start seeing my face. I'm getting a studio ready soon, sometime in 2021, but it's in the works. So I'm just practicing my auditions for Trump TV. That might happen. So I don't know. Or at least one of my videos to clip it up and be, they show it there, like I got on Infowars. But I don't know. Is that gonna be like heavy political? Like I want to talk about different things and just combine everything. Because if you think about it, everything is it's in one. One thing affects the other. When we talk about movies, music, I hate politics, but politics has just taken over everything. But I gotta say this: you think it's gonna be boring with Biden? Boring with Biden. I think that's gonna be the next name of my next video. A little teaser, right, for the next one. Boring with Biden. The past 2 weeks, I started listening to Craig Carton on WFAN. He returned to radio. I stopped listening to politics radio. News talk radio has become boring without Trump. I kid you not. It has become. Look, I just did a 30-minute, 35-minute video without talking about politics until now. That's a new world record. All right. So 35 minutes of no political talk. That's amazing. That's amazing. For the past 2 weeks, I just caught myself. I've been listening to more sports talk, the NBA draft, because they stopped talking about that whole BLM stuff. They started talking about sports again. This guy's getting traded, ESPN. I'm like, all right, all right. They talking sports again. Stephen A. Smith is getting mad at the Knicks. All right, entertainment. Oh, I just want to be entertained. That's it. I want to be entertained. I'm old, and I want to be entertained. So I started watching sports again, like listening to it. I don't watch football, but I like to listen to the news. Oh, this player got a haircut. I just like to know stuff. I like to know everything that's going on. Khloe Kardashian looks like Jennifer Lopez, or she looks like Megan Thee Stallion, who dropped an album yesterday, that made fun of her boyfriend Tory Lane shooting her with a 22 BB gun or some stuff. See, I could I could cross reference stuff. I could have different conversations. That's what I'm saying. You got to be open minded. You got to intake a lot of information so you could have different conversations. I could blend in with liberals. I could blend in with a conservative. I could blend in with a hippie. I could blend in with a communist. I could blend in. I could talk about different stuff because I know about different stuff. Yeah, I could talk about different stuff because I know about different stuff. That's a good title of my next book. Or my first book. I don't know. I'm just saying. But you gotta have you gotta take in all that information. Like back when we were kids, we had different subjects in school, and we had to take all that different subjects in and do different tests for like 7 different subjects. Remember that? When finals came, you had different exams for different subjects. Like, wait a minute, I gotta learn math while I'm learning English, while I'm learning phonics, while I'm learning history. What? Like, I gotta learn these different subjects at the same time. But that's when we were kids. We had that. We had that energy. We had the energy to stay up all night and cram. I was in college a couple of years ago. I couldn't stay up all night. It was hard for me. My ADD was out of control, and when I was younger, I could control it. I can't control it now. I'm glad for those of you that gave me attention for the past 38 minutes. That's a lot of. It's less ADD, right? But I couldn't pay attention in class. It was hard for me. I was falling asleep. I was old. Past my 30s in college. It's not easy. I was able to cram and pass the exam. My vision was better. I could see. I remember going to college after I got LASIK. Sometimes you gotta. One thing college taught me was to cheat the system. That's the one thing college taught me. I don't care if the professor sat behind me. Man, the pressure that I had with the professors, the smart ones, used to sit behind you when you used to take an exam because you don't know where they're at. So the enemy is behind you. The enemy is on your six. And you're over here trying to take a test. And your friend is supposed to help each other out. There was a lot of that, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of people helping each other. I'm sorry. That's the way it was. That's socialism. I was already learning socialism. Right? If they taught me socialism and communism and all this stuff in college, hey, why couldn't I do a little to get ahead? Come on.